This is a CBC podcast.
Hi, I'm Jamie Poisson. For the last decade, I've been a newspaper reporter. And lately, I'm just finding it hard to keep up with the news.
As of today, simple possession of marijuana is no longer illegal.
It can be hard to make sense of things.
Investigators spent 9 hours in the consulate.
Disappearance or murder.
I want to change that, at least a little. I hope you'll join me for Front Burner, a daily podcast from CBC News. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Canada, it's our way or the Sea to Sky Highway from North Vancouver. It's the Debaters! The Debaters, where comedians fight with facts and funny, and this audience picks the winner now. Here's a man who loves the house sound of laughter, Steve Patterson.
Hey! Hello, Canada! Welcome back to the Debaters, and hello, North Vancouver. Yeah, in recent North Shore news, a local resident found an envelope full of cash marked rent money and actually turned it in to the RCMP. That is a nice story. True story. There turned out to be $2,700 in the envelope. So the police immediately handed over to the Kamloops RCMP because that's how far you'd have to go from here to find anything you can rent for $2,700 a month. Now, are you ready to meet two debaters who will give you a new lease on life? You guys ready for this? This comic is right up our alley. It's Ali Hassan! Ali Hassan, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. What to my wandering eyes should appear. Why, look, everybody, Santa is here. Santa Claus is doing a debate for us. There he is. We have Santa on the Debaters. Santa Claus is in the house in North Van. Hello, Santa. All right, gentlemen, your topic concerns Christmas cuisine, which is perfect for you two because, Ali, you are a trained chef.
Trained is a bit strong, but I owned a restaurant. I was a caterer. You're in good hands. You're in good hands for sure.
That's true. Makes delicious
No one
foods.
believes that at all.
Delicious foods. And Santa, obviously you love everything about Christmas.
I love everything about Christmas. The holiday is my favorite thing. Sometimes I just cover myself in jam and roll around in the snow like a big plum pudding.
Well, this is one Santa that's been kicked out of the mall. I can tell already. So, whereas Christmas cuisine is only served during the holidays, be it resolved that holiday food and drink is weird and unappetizing. Ali, you are arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
The optics on this are not great. I'll admit that. A Muslim man arguing against Santa about Christmas food. But I actually love Christmas. It's just the food that I take issue with. Question, did Robitussin and Sudafed have a baby in a dumpster? They did. It's called fruitcake. Marzipan, sugar plums, candied yams. Why so much sugar? No wonder it's a candy cane. That cane is an indication of what we'll need when the diabetes takes our feet. Italy, panettone. When I want to take a bite out of my sofa cushion, I will take a bite out of my kitchen sponge. And what the hell is eggnog's purpose? What? Hey guys, the fireplace is really roaring. What do you say we cool off with a thick dairy beverage made with raw eggs and booze? And turkey. Turkey, why do we accept this culinary hate crime every year? Oh, the turkey is a little dry this year. That's every year, everywhere. And anyway, why so much British food? Wasn't Jesus Middle Eastern? Jesus himself would have taken one bite of turkey and said, "What in the name of me is going on here, bro?" Thank you.
Ali Hassan, he's come out swinging. Now, to tell us why Christmas food and drink is always on the nice list, here's the holly jolly man himself, Santa Claus.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. I think someone over there could use a good reindeer licking. That's what I think.
Yep.
Now, what's sad is that everyone's so obsessed with my failures, rather than my successes. For example, instead of dwelling on Bailey's Irish cream, they moan about how much they hate fruitcake. Well, listen, I hate fruitcake. Everyone hates it. It's not the point. What if you're out in the middle of the frozen tundra and suddenly a wild elk leaps at you? What are you going to beat it to death with? Piece of fruitcake. Piece of fruitcake in a sock. It's a weapon. I only introduced it from necessity. In an emergency, fruitcake provides a calorically dense food option with all the food groups represented: fruit, grain, dairy, butter, and booze. I originally designed it to contain ground caribou meat, but even the stupidest elf wouldn't eat it. Not even Dirty Keith. Dirty Keith would eat anything, let me tell you. There's no 5-second rule with Dirty Keith. More like a 5-week rule with him. Disgusting. He's sick more than he's well. And if it isn't fruitcakes, people are whining about mincemeat tarts. Like, oh, it's not got meat in it. It's just more fruitcake in a tart. So kill me. And then there's people who say, oh, I hate eggnog. Oh, eggnog. Well, I'll tell you what. The name in French is lait de poule, which literally means milk of the chicken. Now, you may not like it, but you have to realize how hard it is to get milk out of a chicken. You need patience. You need tiny, tiny hands. And you need a willing chicken. And even with all those things, it still tastes like crap. That's why you put rum in it. All I'm saying is try not to dwell on my failures. Remember my successes. I'm Santa Claus, and I've got a lot of good, you a-holes.
Santa Claus!
Thank you so much.
Santa Claus! Okay, sugar plums. It's time for the bare knuckle round. We're debating Christmas food and drink, so if you two hams don't use your egg noggins to beat the stuffing out of each other, you'll be out of the marzipan and into the fire. Avoiding simple platitudes will be putting the audience first. Let's make mincemeat out of your opponent right now.
Oh,
What are we debating, really? You hate most of the stuff that I hate also. I mean, you don't like it.
No, but I don't. It's just, I love Christmas. And it's all part of Christmas. The tradition. You know, if it was up to you, we'd all be sitting around drinking a glass of water and holding a handful of dust. No! Saying, look at this.
Baklava and coffee. Water. Come on, I have some self-respect.
Baklava. Nothing like a big lump of baklava. Goes right to your heart.
No, you can't criticize baklava when
you just
singing the praises of chestnuts and warm wine.
I do not accept that. Listen, you have your weird cultural foods. The falafel. You take a bean, which is perfectly fine, mash it up into a powder form, and then make it into a little hockey puck. Then you eat it. Everyone has weird food, all right?
Dirty Keith would eat a dozen falafel without
Dirty Keith
without
did eat a
hesitation.
dozen falafel.
That's the bare knuckle round, everybody. It is time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on Christmas food brought to you by American Thanksgiving. This year, the White House turkey may be the one doing the pardoning. Weird. It is a tradition in Justin Trudeau's house to eat what on Christmas Day? Allie?
A turkey so dry that it makes a Thomas Mulcair speech look like Cirque du Soleil.
That was a pretty detailed.
Very specific.
Pretty
Very
detailed
I
answer.
almost didn't get it out. That's
No,
how
I liked
specific.
it. I liked it.
So current.
Santa's ringing his own bell. He brought his own bells.
Yes. He'll be eating the NAFTA agreement.
He might be. That's good. It's a tradition in Justin Trudeau's house to eat birthday cake on Christmas Day because December 25th is his birthday. True story. In 2017, a fruitcake from Robert Scott's 1911 expedition was discovered in Antarctica. The person who found it said it smelled what? Santa?
Like Dirty Keith.
Oh, so much play for Dirty Keith here. Allie?
It smelled like the baby of Sir John Robitussin and Lady Margaret Sudafed.
There it is. Nice answer. The person who found it said it smelled edible. Many Ukrainian Canadians celebrate Orthodox Christmas Eve on January 6th with a feast of 12 dishes that contain only what? Santa.
Russians. Too edgy? Too much for you people?
Orthodox Santa would be very mad at that. The actual answer, not that anyone cares or can concentrate. Orthodox Christmas Eve on January 6th, there's a feast of 12 dishes for Ukrainian Canadians that contain vegetables, fish, or dairy, but no meat. No meat. And that's the firing line, everybody. It's time for our Centennial Theater audience to pick a winner. But first, here again to tell us that his belly shakes like a bowl full of jelly because of Christmas food. Let's hear it one more time for Santa Claus.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Christmas food is fatty. It's full of sugar and booze. I get it. Kill me, all right? You're supposed to eat it for a week out of the year. That's it. One big week, stuff yourself, and then move on. Nowadays, every day, we eat like it's Christmas Day. Every stinking day. There's gourmet cookies and curated charcuterie rammed down our throats by everyone. All you do all the time is eat fatty, slobbery foods. I mean, you should see Dirty Keith now. He never stops. If you don't like it, just don't eat it. All right? I'm not here shoving it down your throat. But if you vote against me, just remember this. Santa knows where you live. That's all I have to say. Santa knows where you live.
Santa Claus, ladies and gentlemen. Santa Claus arguing on behalf of Christmas cuisine and reminding us that he knows where you live. Now, to tell us why the Yuletide table is terrible, here's a few more chestnuts from Ali Hassan.
Now, friends, when it comes to Christmas food, someone screwed up bad. And the Middle East holds the solution. You don't hear that very often. It holds the solution. We brought holiday hummus. Mom cooked a Christmas kebab. Those already sound amazing. Look, I'm not even Middle Eastern. I'm South Asian. I'm Pakistani. But I know a good meal when I eat one. I know a drunk Santa when I smell one. And I know smart audience, when I see one, North Van, let's make Christmas great again. Right? Let us sing. You know the words to this one. Deck the halls. Deck the halls with lamb and falafel. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to eat tabbouleh. Fa la 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 la. Pass the couscous, eat the olives. Fa la 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 la. Cover it all with hot sauce and tahini. Fa la 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 la. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
That was lovely. Ali Hassan wants to spice up Christmas a little bit, but he's in tough by applause, who thinks that Ali's anti-Christmas food facts and funny were more filling. Ali Hassan, a nice job. All right. Wait a minute, Santa. Who preferred Kris Kringle's Christmas cuisine cut-ups? Santa! Santa! It's a Christmas miracle.
Thank you.
Santa's won it. The winner is Santa. Big hand for Ali Hassan and Mr. Sean Cullen.
You're listening to The Debaters on CBC Radio. You can get past episodes of The Debaters on iTunes. Go to cbc.ca/The Debaters to find out how. That's cbc.ca/The Debaters. Now back to Steve Patterson.
Hey, Centennial Theater, are you ready to meet your next pair of debaters? Let's do it then. This comic thinks poutine is a gross national product. It's Jenny Hamilton. Jenny Hamilton coming on out. There she is. Taking the lectern to my right. Happy to have her back on. And when the Muppets went off air, this comic cried puppeteers. It's Graham Clark. Graham Clark. This is a perfect topic for a couple of comics because it's about comics. Peanuts. The comic strip Peanuts. Is it the greatest comic strip of all time? Back in the 1960s, Peanuts attained global popularity with the TV specials A Charlie Brown Christmas and It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and to a lesser extent with It's Labor Day, Lucy. I don't know if you guys remember, in that one, Lucy finds out how much Charles Schultz is making from merchandise, and he tries to unionize the Peanuts characters, which made Schultz so angry he actually rubbed them out. Good story for our times. Anyway, time for these two to draw their own conclusions. So, whereas Charles Schultz's comic spawned a global media empire, be it resolved that Peanuts is the greatest comic strip of all time. Jenny, you're arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
The 1950s blessed the world with some amazing things. Rock and roll, non-stick cookware, prescription speed for dieting, and of course, the greatest comic ever created, Peanuts. We love Charlie Brown and his friends because we can relate to them. They shaped our childhood and are literally the only form of peanuts allowed near children today. Charlie Brown represents the everyman, the lovable loser, figuring his life out the same way we all did. Except this 8-year-old does it while dealing with an extreme case of male pattern baldness. Lucy educated us how bullies in business work. Now, she'd wreak havoc on the other kids all morning and then offer affordable psychiatry in the afternoon. Genius. Franklin enlightened us about diversity. And yes, Franklin was the only black kid in the community, but I'm from the Yukon, so the numbers seemed right to me. Now, Peppermint Patty and Marcy showed me how to have a relationship with my wife. Yes, sir. Has worked for 28 years. Now, Snoopy, that untamable pooch, he was a World War I flying ace, an astronaut. He's the epitome of cool. He showed millions of awkward teens that dancing like a complete maniac is okay, especially when you do it on top of a stuck-up kid's piano. But most of all, Snoopy proves to us, And I feel this deep in my heart as a pet mom, that happiness is a warm puppy. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Jenny Hamilton, bringing it home. Thank you, Jenny. Now, to tell us why he never wants to hear from anyone in the Peanuts gallery, here's Graham Clark.
Thank you. Now, back in the old days, before humor was invented, a kid saying good grief may have been the funniest thing in the world. I'm not here to say that the Peanuts aren't lovable. They're lovable. They're just not funny. And that would be fine if they didn't populate the area of the newspaper called the Funnies. If they hung out in the obituaries, it would have been fine. This is the type of humor for somebody who's just gotten out of surgery and needs the gentlest laughs imaginable. Let's read through a typical Peanuts cartoon, shall we?
Graham's got a Peanuts comic strip right with him. He's going to share with us now.
First panel, there's our friend Linus with his security blanket. It's a windy day. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Second panel, you guessed it, that blanket goes flying. Third panel, Linus chasing after it. Fourth panel, the blanket is now on top of Snoopy's head, and he's saying, I don't like the fall. It gets dark out so early. Now, some of you are waiting for the fifth panel where the joke would occur, but surprise, surprise. At least Hagar had the guts to tell us up front that he was horrible. Thank you.
Graham Clark. Yeah. It's time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on whether Peanuts is the greatest comic strip, brought to you by Family Circus. Family Circus. It's a good thing that Billy Kid leaves footprints, or they would have lost him in 1962. When CBS executives first screened A Charlie Brown Christmas, they thought the animation was too simple, it moved too slow, and what else? Jenny?
Too many speaking roles for women.
That's a good answer. 5 points. 5 points. That's rare in the firing line. They thought it was too simple, the animation, it moved too slow, and that the music did not fit. Which now you look back at it, that's the most popular thing that anyone remembers. When Snoopy was adopted as the mascot for NASA, what title was he given? Graham?
He played too much guitar, so they called him Commander Chris Hadfield.
I know for a fact he does listen to the show, and I think he played the exact right amount of guitar, Commander. Jenny?
They made him Rear Admiral because he could sniff out danger.
Not bad.
Right, because he's a dog.
Not bad. Not bad. Snoopy was the mascot for NASA. He was given the title of Snoopy the Astro Beagle, which is a dumb title at NASA. That's the firing line, everybody. Just about that magical time again when our theater audience picks the winner. But first, here again to tell us why he'll never have Peanuts envy. It's the man who paints comics with his beard. True story, Graham Clark.
Thank you. For my closer, I'd like to bring out an adult from the town that the Peanuts live in.
Okay, here we go. There's an adult. Hello, sir. He's okay.
Yeah, thank you. If you would, please introduce yourself to the audience. Now, please tell us about the Peanut Gang, and I'll interpret. The Peanut Gang is simply that, a gang. They have terrorized the town using a weaponized flying doghouse. Their leader, one Chuck Good Grief Brown, has a cruel initiation into the gang. One must not wash until he says so. A win for Graham here tonight will let the Peanuts gang know that we will not live in fear. Thank you.
Yeah, Graham Clark with a little help from the adult in the Peanuts cartoons. Now, here again to tell us why she's gung-ho for the Peanuts gang, it's Whitehorse's biggest wit, Jenny Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Newspaper comic strip now line the cage of the dodo bird. But Peanuts is our community, and Charlie Brown, that blockhead, is in all of us. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am Charlie Brown. Graham is Charlie Brown. Steve's more of a Snoopy, all rebellious and cool, right? But you, my friends, are Charlie Brown. So when life sets up that football and then pulls it away last second, leaving you on your butt in the dirt, take heart and remember, you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Jenny Hamilton. Yeah, that's a real heartfelt argument from Jenny. I could feel it. I think the audience could feel it. Let's see what the audience has decided. It's up to them to pick a winner by applause. Who was cartooned in most to Jenny's pro-Peanuts pondering? Okay. A lot of support for Jenny. Okay. And who preferred how Graham tore a comic strip off Peanuts? Graham Clark. All right. The audience has spoken. They have decided that Peanuts is not the greatest comic strip of all time. That means the winner is Graham Clark. Big hand for Graham Clark and Whitehorse comic Jenny Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's all for this week. I'm Steve Patterson saying watch for Charlie Brown and his next exciting spokesperson venture, Hair Club for Boys. I'll argue with you again soon, Canada. Good night!
The Debaters, created by Richard Side. Produced this week by Richard Side, Graham Clark, Josh Bailey, Nicole Callender, Tracy Rideout, and Philip Ditchburn. Technical production by Matthias Wolfson and Brian Chan. And thanks to everyone at the Centennial Theatre in North Vancouver. Hey Toronto, The Debaters is coming to you. We'll be at the Danforth Music Hall on Wednesday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. For details, visit our website. We're cbc.ca/thedebaters.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.